Hey y'all, welcome back to the DIY Entrepreneurs Reaction Show. I'm so glad you decided to tune in with me today. Go ahead and hit that like button and become a subscriber to the channel if you're not already a subscriber. I would really appreciate that. Today we're going to be reacting to another Shark Tank pitch from a more recent episode, so let's check it out.
Next up is a product to aid a favorite childhood activity.
Hi. My name is Connor Lewis from St. Louis, Missouri, and I am the founder of Fort. I am seeking $500,000 for 10% of my company.
Wow.
So, Sharks, my story goes something like this. My daughter and I were building pillow forts in our living room, and I found myself going, "Don't take that beige couch cushion. That's Mom's favorite blanket. Not the dining room chairs." And spending all that time cleaning up the mess after she went to bed, it hit me. There's got to be a better way to do this, right? And that is where the idea of Fort came from. Storable, stackable, wipeable, completely modular system to build the ultimate pillow fort. But get this, it's all held together by magnets.
I smell Pat. Did it just drop?
To say, yay, science! So the best part about building a pillow fort is this part, which is
diving on it.
Right?
Diving on it. Absolutely.
So, Sharks,
He a big
who
kid.
wants to save the couch cushions of the world and build the ultimate pillow fort with me?
Good job.
I think you win the points for the world's best dad, that's for sure. But like, what is your background? How did you come up with it?
So I was working in marketing, and unfortunately I lost my job during COVID in April of last year. I was wondering, like, what am I going to do with my life? I had always wanted to be an entrepreneur, but there was just this like huge fear that I wouldn't be able to take care of everybody. And my wife has a really good corporate job. She's a CPA. And I had just enough money from severance. I sold my car, and I had this idea for a magnetic pillow fort.
So Connor, how are you selling this product?
We were completely focused on direct to consumer. I ended up taking a business partner who owns 5% of the company right now. He has put in all the operational equity. He has the opportunity to buy in up to 40% based on revenue targets.
Wow.
Wow.
What triggers that?
Revenue targets, but hold on, let me get to the price. So the price right now currently is $499 for this full set right here you see on the far right.
$500?
It comes with 12 pieces,
$499?
five cushions, yes, and 124 magnets.
$500?
That's a lot of money.
And
That was one of the biggest
120
challenges
something
we had early on.
magnets.
So we launched
Still
on
is.
Kickstarter.
You think?
Absolutely is. You're absolutely right. So we launched on Kickstarter in January 2021. My claim to fame is I sold $2 million of products in 10 hours.
What? What?
Yeah,
Wow.
$2 million in 10 hours. Ended up doing 3.1 for the whole campaign. We've
People
done
want the
4.5,
pillow magnetic
to date.
pillows.
Is it that price at $499?
No, our average purchase price was $269.
Wow.
Have you delivered on the Kickstarter?
Ooh, a lot of
Right
numbers.
now, I have about 400 units going out today. Let me talk about the COGS for a little bit. So when we launched, like I mentioned, the average price with shipping included was around $269. My original COGS were around right at $200 landed, and then added a $50 shipping charge. The strategy was, first of all, I wanted to be able to see if I could actually sell this, right? I knew it would be more expensive than the competitors. The magnets alone cost $60 a unit, right?
They're hugely expensive.
Why aren't you using Velcro like everybody else?
Because we ran a lot of surveys, and parents unanimously hate Velcro.
Yeah.
So
Get
what we
stuck
did
in it.
was we sold at a loss for the first day, and
At $269.
yeah, with shipping included,
I'll tell you what
$269.
parents really
So-
hate is $500.
Kevin,
not
let him
only
finish.
do
Let
they
him
hate-
finish. Tell us your thought process.
Yeah.
Yeah, what I realized was that shipping, obviously, international freight, not only that, but of course, this product is
It's
huge
huge.
to ship. When I realized how high volume I was selling, I ended up selling almost 13,000 units at Kickstarter. You know, it's unbelievable, right? You do like $2 million, the numbers
exciting.
are rolling all day, right? And I let codependency set the price and set what the customer wanted. After I realized I oversold the first day, I was like, oh, I have to work really hard to sell the rest of this campaign, and I didn't
But
sell enough
also,
to
too,
compensate
what's
the cost.
important is the people out there that joined into your Kickstarter, right? They were excited to get the product. You let them dictate the price, but then you had to go back to the factories. You had to figure out
to
the
re-up.
shipping, and you had to say, oh my God, how do I do this for $269?
Yeah, we realized we were in the hole. We didn't know how big the hole was. So we started selling at a high price point. We sold $250,000 in another 24 hours, right? And this was in May, a few hours.
You did.
Wow.
$499.
So doubling
And then
the
Right.
price
we doubled the
actually
price.
didn't hurt you, you're saying?
No, we've been able to, and we've continued selling. Now, we're selling a product that no one has
Who
gotten
buying
yet. We're
this
currently
stuff?
shipping out our Kickstarter. I have 17,000 units coming from overseas right now.
And no one has received the product.
So it's never shipped in yet.
Listen, I have a couple of big concerns here. Number one is that you don't know if this is going to work, right? You've got an enormous amount of orders sitting there. Nobody has the product yet. You don't know what the customer feedback is, if people love it, what your returns are going to be.
I mean, that is a huge concern right now, right?
The good news is you have their money.
That should be the only concern. What Mark is about to say, the good news is you have their money first. But he gonna end up having and then it's still in a Kickstarter product. And so in some ways when you are signing up for that, you kind of understand that sometimes the product will work. You're signing on to be one of the first users and investors into the product. So you understand that it may have to go back for production. But goodness gracious, he ain't got not one product in the people house yet. But he's steady raising all his money and doubled the prices, and they still selling.
Money first.
I do. And so this is where we get to like the international freight challenge. The last 30 days, we've had great suppliers. I have an incredible 3PL I'm working with who all like totally gone to bat for us. And I've found myself like staring at the numbers and being like, oh, this is bad.
I'm assuming you've burnt a lot of cash.
Like, yeah, incredible.
How much?
Basically all of it.
All of it.
Wait, why is he telling the sharks all of this? It sounds real bad for him. One, it sounds like he don't plan it out. He had this idea to put magnets on the cushions and build a fort. But he didn't have a plan. He didn't seek mentorship or coaching from someone to help him to not run into all those problems he had with the shipping and getting it to the customers that he haven't done yet. He said he's mailing off some orders today, but this is going to be like the first time that they get the product. I don't understand. He's running through a lot of money and he ain't got no more money.
Selling yourself out of business.
It could be put that way, certainly. I mean, it's a really tough situation, right?
It is a tough situation.
You're so like jovial.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but this is super hard. I mean, like yesterday, my wife literally like sat on the steps in our house and cried.
He's saying this stuff and he's explaining it with the sharks like, oh, but we'll overcome it. And I appreciate the faith, but this sounds like a mess, dude. And Lori said, you seem so jovial about it.
Oh no!
Because like this is
Where's
hard.
this gonna go?
Super hard. You're going to figure things out. Like you're that
You
person
can't
who's
come
not going to
into the-
crumble.
I'm sorry for stopping so much, y'all, but ain't no way he gonna come into the Shark Tank, ask them for some money, $500K for 10%, asking them for some money, and then just kind of being, you know, laid back about the money he's lost, the problems that he's ran into, the problems that he's had to provide solutions for. Still ain't got no product out. This just really seems like a lot.
You're going to figure it out, but at least you're being really honest with us about what's happened.
I want to understand a little bit more about your partner. You mentioned you brought a partner in for 5%.
And more
He's
importantly, what triggers the
operational.
40%?
He will get 40% if he and his team are helping us get to $30 million in revenue.
Gross revenue.
growth?
Gross
Yes.
sales.
Yes.
What is it that he's technically doing?
Right,
So he
operational.
has the relationship with his supplier that he's done tens of millions of dollars
So
with.
he works with the factory.
Yep. He
Okay.
has full marketing team, ad buyers, and we both agree that this hole that I have sunk us into, we can be overcome in the next few months.
That's the
Let me
first
take a stab at this, all right?
part of
I see a
emotion
whole
I've
bunch of
heard
problems.
from him.
I'm sorry. I mean, first of all, your cost of goods are way too high. I don't
Absolutely.
understand why in the world you'd spend $60 on magnets when Velcro's just fine. I don't buy the story that parents can't deal with Velcro. Giving away 40% to somebody
For no
cash, which is your number one problem,
Yes.
makes absolutely no sense to me. I'm sorry, Connor. I'm out.
That's a big concern
Connor,
too.
Kevin, I
you're a
appreciate
great
that.
case for what not to do as an entrepreneur,
Ooh.
right?
That's not a good thing. I could tell because this just seemed in his whole demeanor is just kind of like I'm the fun guy. Even now, it's just kind of creepy a little bit. This is. Whew.
People can learn a lot from your experience. And look, I think you can survive this. It's not bad that you worked with somebody else who didn't provide cash, right?
But could get up to
expertise costs you
40%.
one way or another. So getting their expertise is fine. But the trigger for their 40% being set to sales means that if any one of us invest, the minute we close the deal and we help you get to 30 million, we're diluted by 40% immediately. So for those reasons, I'm out.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Connor, you know, this is just not a proven business yet. You've got all the sales, but you might have a 50% return rate, and we just don't know that yet. It's just not an investable opportunity for me, so I'm out.
I appreciate that, Emily. Yeah, so I mean, it's obviously a really challenging situation.
At least you were honest about it.
You know, I have to be, right?
Well,
I can't, it's not
no, you
something I
have
can
to
hide.
be. I mean, you're such a good person.
Yeah.
I can tell. I would have been in on you in a heartbeat, instantly.
I appreciate that.
But now you've found someone else, it seems, that's trying to get you out of the hole. So I think you have a partner in there right now that's doing a lot of the things that I would have tried to do. So unfortunately, I'm out.
I appreciate that. Thank you. So there's the story, you all.
There's still Robert.
You know,
Still Robert.
I think you have a level of humility that really comes through.
Thanks.
And I think people always think to be a great entrepreneur, you have to be arrogant, you have to be full of yourself. It's the complete opposite. You've got to learn in life all the time. We're all learning. I mean, I love that. And I love the product. I just, like, I'm trying to talk myself into it.
Sure.
It's
a tough sell. It absolutely is.
My friend,
Connor, don't tell him what's wrong with it.
But never put yourself down.
continues to
Never, ever do that.
Okay.
Always believe in yourself, despite the challenge.
Robert, you can solve this problem with $500,000. You'll get 10%.
I wish it was less money because I'd love to believe and invest in you, but it's can't get there for 500,000. I'm sorry, I'm out.
That's okay. I appreciate you all. This has been an
Good luck,
absolute
Connor.
honor.
Oh, good luck,
It's been a
Connor.
wonderful learning experience for me.
Thank you. Good luck.
That was tough, and I'm glad he walked out of there with the right attitude. He said it was a great learning experience for him. And before Robert got to the point of encouraging him, one of the last things he said was, well, that's my story, guys. I think he had already resolved when he came into the Shark Tank that, look, my business is a mess right now, but maybe it needs to be at this point so that one of the sharks could help me out. And he probably just went in there full of faith and just hoping that someone will come out and help him or whatever. But that was tough. And the fact that he has a partner that's at 5% now, but has the potential to get up to 40%. I think that was very narrow-minded. You would think that it's only going to be you because you're going to hold your 60%. And so you think it's just going to be you and this guy getting you up to where you need to be, and you're not going to have to ask for money from any investors. And so you kind of lock yourself up. So now you probably only got a good, 9% to give to somebody, or 10%. He came in with 10%. He owns 60. Oh. He comes in with 60%. That's his highest point that he could get from this partner. He's already chopping the legs from under him at that point. And so, yeah, this was definitely a tough one. He did not get a deal. Came in asking for $500K for 10% for the Fort business, and he was not successful. It was just a lot of things, a lot of concerns that the Sharks had, and I was right along with them, and so it just sounded like a lot. And so I really do hope that he really finds the partner that he needs, or that him and the partner that he has on board now really get to the drawing board and see how they could dig themselves out of that hole. I really do hope it works for him. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in and staying until the end. I really do appreciate that. Make sure you hit that like button and become a subscriber of the channel if you like this content. And make sure you check us out for the next ones.
It's much more overwhelming than I thought it would be. I think they saw me, they respected what I did, and they saw the very real issues that I kind of created. So I think I'm okay with that, you know.